My daughter is in P6, and as you know, in the Singapore education system, questions come from P4, P5, P6, right? Uh, a lot of money is spent on tuitions and coaching classes, and especially for science, right? Uh, the answers are very tricky, the questions are very tricky, and it's a pleasure when I sit down and when I revise the topics with my daughter. I haven't sent her for any tuition. Now, I used to go to Popular, look at so many books that have all kinds of examples and things like that, assessment books, papers, worksheets. But end of the day, one particular author caught my attention, and this is from I think Learning Out of the Box. Okay, I'm just sharing it here. So you get a bundle pack, P5 and P6, right? So um, it's from Learning Out of the Box. Let me see. The author is Chia Li Xian and Alison Lim, and I think this is the code. So hopefully you can get it, and I'll also share you a referral link if it helps. I think you get some off in that, and of course there is some small voucher I get also for any future purchases. Now, my search for books ended with this book, both for P5 and P6. Okay, so there is something really special about this book. This review will take a little time. I had promised a written review, but it's going to be long. So the way this book is structured, okay, first it goes through the theory, it goes through all the chapters, it goes through specific key points, and let me try to just, so it goes through specific key points and what are the key activities, and it also goes through something called as basic question section, and it also goes through something called as an advanced question section. Okay, so it deals with, and then there's a bunch of practices. Now, believe me, the way the structures, the answers are structured, and the way it leads you to the open-ended chapters, it's something I have never seen in any of the books. And just writing down specific answers repeatedly will help the child understand and the parents understand what is needed for that particular chapter. For example, let me try to pull out. So, for example, when they talk about organs work together to allow exchange of gases, oxygen from the surrounding air is taken into the body, carbon dioxide is removed from the body to the surrounding air. So things like this, right? This specific word, actually these two sentences actually is like a standard answer for many questions, so it has to be written in this format. So very useful the way the diagrams are depicted, the questions are given. So there's always a basic question that will kind of guide you how to write the answer and how to go to that particular topic, and then you have the next question, which is like a practice question. So where is that? I'm trying to find that. So the next one is actually it will actually go a little deeper. Yeah, the practices, right? So one is the basic question, and then you have the actual practices. So when this with this, and the questions more or less actually are really thought provoking, and how you write the answers. Now, after I went through the whole P5 and the P6 portion of it, I think beyond that, my daughter really doesn't need any other book. So this is what I was trying to explain, right? So here's something that my kid wrote. So the participants needed more energy during the run, therefore the heart pumped more blood. If you see, she missed out the more everywhere, right? So there's more blood, more oxygen, and more digested food faster to the cells, thus the cells provide more energy and the heart rate increases. So I told her that this could have been written better. So if you look at the solutions, how it is written, so I made her rewrite this. So the rate of gaseous exchange increases until it reaches the maximum and CO2 gets removed. So you get the hint, right? So sorry, this portion is only over here, and CO2 gets removed faster. So this portion was left out, right? So here she actually wrote the rate of gaseous exchange in the lungs increases from the start to the end of the run. I told her this is wrong, and this is her own correction. So when she goes through the book and she actually corrects the looks at the solution and corrects, then she knows, oh, you cannot answer something like this, right? You have to give the scientific reason. So the rate of gaseous exchange increases until it reaches a maximum rate and remains constant. So after the run, the rate of gaseous exchange decreases. So a simple question. So things like this, it repeats, right? And the structure actually goes with an SIS. So it's a stand, it's the information, it's a scientific reason. I'm not going to go into the details. You have to get the book for that, right? So when you take a stand, what is the information behind it and what is the scientific reason behind it? Almost all the questions align in this aspect. Okay, so with this actually, initially I used to spend some time with my kid and I used to go through all the questions and that was the first 2 or 3 days. But after that, it was pretty much self-directed because the structure of the questions is there, of the answers is there. And for me, I just sit with my kid, I just have my coffee and she's doing her homework or she's doing these questions. So it is truly a wonderful book. If you don't waste your money on book, don't waste your money on science tuitions and whatnot. If as a parent we can understand basic science, then this is the book to go, right? So if, for example, here I think the learning summary, right? So digested food, water and oxygen is transported to all parts of the body. In the plant transport system, the substances flow in a single loop direction, right? So every section has a learning summary where you need to compress that chapter and you need to put it down. So after seeing this book, so all this is my daughter's writing. Now again, whole thing is my daughter going to score A1 or I mean whatever, AL1 or AL something in science, I don't know. Okay, that is a separate topic altogether. But for me, marks come secondary. It is the process, the learning. No one cares 10 years down the lane whether your kid scored AL10 or AL8 or AL4 in your PSLE, right? No one cares after 20 years of work experience whether you scored what you scored in your PSLE. So for me, that learning process, to be self-directed, that is more important. Is the child able to grasp that concept directly? Is the child able to learn something with minimal help? Is she able to understand how to rewrite? Bottom line, whatever book you take, whatever book you do, that writing has to be done. Okay, that is hardwired for 5,000 years. No iPad, no laptop, nothing. Write down the answer. So each chapter has specific things to remember or write in a specific way. That is enough. So I really have to commend the book, this book that was written from Learning Out of the Box. Beautifully written, beautifully executed. The answers are really nicely put. So the structure is there, the basic questions are there, the thought-provoking questions are there, the practices are there. So if you want, use this as a first reading. Use this book to grasp the concepts clearly, then pick up other books to do any amount of practice papers and whatnot. So I recommend this book highly, and I will be putting this on my YouTube channel as well, and on my TikTok. So if you guys want to use this book or buy this book, I think it's highly recommended. So by the way, Learning Out of the Box also has maths and all of that. You can go to the website to see more. End of the day, you decide. For me, I like something about this book, and I just thought of sharing this wonderful review. So I hope it helps you all. Bye bye.